The governments of both Trinidad and Tobago and the United States of America are working together to improve disaster preparedness. A workshop hosted at the Trinidad Hilton today prepared the stakeholders for disasters that may occur. Wason has more.
The flood in Greenvale and other areas in October last year triggered the government to look at the state's readiness when disasters occur. While he admitted more is needed, National Security Minister Stuart Young praised the efforts of responders.
Flood waters that have risen and covered cars, that have covered one-story buildings. Persons are now in the second story of their houses trying to get through the roof. And you have now been put on the ground there and been told, go and rescue people. You don't know how many people are inside. Communications are going down. It's difficult. You can't see things. You don't know what it is you're going into. You can't wait because you don't know where your cars are, etc. I thank God that no one was injured during that period. No life was lost during that period. But
both governments, through agencies, have put on the National Disaster Preparedness Baseline Assessment Workshop for government ministries as well as the regional corporations and the protective services. Colonel Claudia Carrizales, who is the Chief Military Liaison Officer of the United States Embassy, said apart from providing training, the U.S. government provides equipment the TT government can use for relief to victims of disaster. She called on the population to play its role.
What I hope we can accomplish in the year is also educating the population in those areas of what their responsibility is. Don't litter, don't do this, that just causes and feeds into the problem. So as we're looking at that, we also want to reach out to those local communities and say, what is your role and how can you help? Don't always just point at what the government is doing for you.
There is also a role for the media, a role which Colonel Jeffrey identified.
Your role is key, especially during a disaster period where people are not sure what's happening and they want information, okay? As the minister highlighted that because he's also the Minister of Communication, he had to speak to you all to get to the community so people to know exactly what's happening throughout the country.
It's hope that when the rainy season returns in 2019, the regional corporations and protective services will be better prepared to assist where needed. Wason, TTT News.
Well, Minister of National Security Stuart Young has linked vehicular parking with disaster preparedness. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the National Disaster Preparedness Baseline Assessment Workshop at the Trinidad Hilton, Minister Young focused on parking in Port of Spain and connected this with potential obstacles that first responders face in carrying out their jobs.
Use St. Vincent Street as a perfect example on a Friday afternoon. No parking signs on both sides saying you can park on alternate days. Reality, cars parked on both sides of the road, one lane of traffic. For fire and explosion, anything takes place, how are we getting our fire tenders through those roads? Laws are not made to be flouted and to be disregarded. It is only when a disaster takes place, people will then stand up and say, why weren't the cars moved? Why weren't there 2 lanes of traffic?